On the 27th day after the third moon of the equinox, Mrs. Tanner took 2 of her children to Thunder Rock on vacation. There they traveled as close as they dared to the feet of the Thunder Rock Mountain in hunt of magical rocks. They went to the Longfellow Ranch for steak, and then they rested their very feet at the Rusty Nail Tavern. What they didn't know was that there was something terrible afoot. What happened next will shock you. One witness states, "It was like blue spiders climbing out of the manor, scorching my beautiful, beautiful skin and my flowing red hair." Another witness claimed, "I tried to cover my children as soon as I saw the lights, but I couldn't. Little Timmy, his face is all messed up now. There goes his career as a model." Key members of the community have identified suspects who are responsible for this terrible event. We have them in the studio here today, and we'll question them and get to the bottom of what happened. Join us for 60 minutes of investigation into the Thunder Shock incident. All right, thank you for joining us on our first ever episode of HeroTalk. It's a show where we discuss the major turning points of the Shoot For Initiative campaign. We break down our characters, builds, backgrounds, actions, and kind of general, widespread, common, mainstream, and not at all, and maybe average tomfoolery that we do in our show. Before we start our show today, Spool has some exciting announcements to make. Our brother show, sister show? The show, which we also do, Courage and Chaos, D&D for Beginners, had a tremendous week. As their host, Matthew Ford, has starred in a Wizard of the Coast podcast, Dragon Talk, on their How to Be a DM segment, talking about us, talking about how to be a DM, how to be a DM to players who are new to the game. And he also did a wonderful job on our Instagram takeover. So be sure to check those 2 things out. It will be on Dragon Talk on YouTube. And yeah. Also, Shoot For Initiative had just released all 6 episodes on Twitch, and we'll have, by the time of this release all 6 episodes on YouTube. So you can be sure to go binge that, subscribe, like our video, and also check out Instagram for the giveaway for the D&D starter kit. Birthdays! Doug and one of our partners, business partners, Bonnie, they're both turning a year older. So Doug is turning 26 this year.
With experience.
And of course, as a gift for the show and as a gift, to humanity, Doug is going to shave his beard on live.
How do we feel about live streaming murder?
Well, it's recorded, so...
It's so old now it's going to start falling out. Yeah. So we will celebrate their birthdays in the traditional Shoot For Initiative way with a shot of bad gin.
We have a tradition.
And a spoonful of Vegemite.
I'm down with that.
I feel a little sick. I think I'm going home.
You guys don't chase your shots with Vegemite?
Yeah. What is wrong with you? Right?
We Australians. The Australians. If you didn't know.
I'm excused.
Last but not least, we want to congratulate Brad, who is not with us today. He is on his bucks. We love you, Brad. We hope you're having an amazing time. Free-flowing mimosas.
I hope the hangover's not too terrible.
I hope it is. Hair of the dog.
Well, if you keep drinking, you will never...
That's right. Just get a cleric to do lesser restoration.
So send us a code and signal if you're in trouble.
We wish you all the best on your marital festivities and in the immortal words featured in the 1982 Billy Idol's hit single, which stayed on top 10 and American and UK charts. It's a good day for a wet wedding.
That was
Such a workaround.
Yeah, that was a big build up to that.
Wow.
I just like Billy Idol.
That's fair.
So,
Oh yeah.
last we left off, we had just streamed episode 6. A bunch of things had happened. I'm not going to tell you what happened. I want you to tell me what you think happened. What was the most important things that kind of...
It was chaos!
Yeah, what happened?
So much
and some
happened.
noise.
There was.
We did some things and occasionally some stuff.
We killed a lot of people.
That we did. That
We found some kidnapped children.
We saved the kidnapped children.
I think I literally
Someone
slapped Doug
died.
at some point. Like I slapped his arm because I was so stressed about the whole situation.
yeah.
I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, one of our characters died. I mean,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
And
Happy birthday.
And came
Roll a
back to
new
life.
character.
Yeah. You came back.
That's true. That's true.
Almost instantly.
scared the shit out of me.
Oh man, that was some
Well,
that was weird.
To be fair, for a good second there we thought a couple of characters might have died until Doug
Definitely.
pulled out that amazing
Clutch move.
amazing clutch move.
Wrist pocket.
For the
Thank
win.
you, whoever wrote that. I'm assuming Matt Mercer because it was in your book. But great spell. Came in handy right at the last second.
So if we trying to frame everything in perspective. So you guys were kind of going to Thunder Rock to investigate, to just keep the townsfolk away from the manor that was written in your little quest letter.
Yes.
You guys found that the manor was pretty interesting. Things were happening. You don't know why. There's red lights. There's cows going boom, turning into dust near the manor. And you find out that maybe the person who hired you is kind of have ulterior motives. You don't know what he's doing. He's just a rich guy who's hiring you to keep quiet and keep other people quiet.
He was
What's his-
dodgy.
Of course, he's got ulterior motives. He's
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah. He seems like a slight douche.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit of
No, no, that's
And I
very,
apologize
very
if all
judgmental.
the characters that I play are slightly douchey. Just comes off.
It's the D&D douche master.
The bit that
That's a
I-
t-shirt now. Okay.
I think that's been a t-shirt for a while, just in different communities.
The bit that I chuckled a little at was when we found out what we were hired for.
Did we?
weren't hired to investigate, to solve, to help anything.
Yeah, you weren't
We were told to
hired.
be thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the
According
townsfolk
to-
alive.
According to Haas, we were told to keep intruders out, and then we met Tiberius, who is my favorite NPC in
Tiberius,
the
the chicken chaser.
Well, actually, on the note of that, it specifically said to go talk to the drunkard, and the drunkard told us how cows were going boom. And we were like, well, we need to figure out why. And the only way why, we need to keep things away. We need to figure out why we're keeping them away. So he kind of gave us the bum steer into that. But we were told by the drunkard to go check it out, and then that weird stuff was happening.
True.
And the
But
second
he was a drunkard.
he was a drunkard, but you know what? He had a trustworthy face.
I actually think we failed.
It's not
Because
covered in slobber.
if we blow up the manor, no one can enter.
Yes, but if we did that, Tiberius and his family, who are very high up in the Champions Guild where we want to stay employed, would be very mad at us.
Also,
He'd be very dead.
Wow.
Do we really want to
Can't
stay?
snitch on us if he's dead.
That's also a good question. I guess that's the thing is like, do we want to stay in the Champions Guild now that we've found some stuff
Well,
out?
it smells a bit fishy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with Minos
We've also just
being one of the ones
Kill-
instigating.
well, someone killed one of our people in the guild. Not pointing any fingers. 'cause they
I
might get
only did it
chopped
the
off.
second time. Someone already brought him down the first time.
Yeah, so you guys went to the manor. You
I
guys
think it was
found
you.
a hidden passage to the manor.
He did it.
Sure, played the deeply.
Did he do the final stab?
He did
I
the
think
first
I
time.
did. I think I did.
I brought him back to life.
So, for those of you who have not caught up with all the episodes, you are part of the Champions Guild. This is where you got the quest. You went to the manor, and you found that one of the persons, almost at the very top of the Champions Guild, was taking part in some ritual kidnapping and surgery of kids in this manor.
He wasn't a very nice guy.
No, they're hiding cocaine in there.
So it was a big shock to all of you. And I'm sure there was a lot more big shocks in that. As you were saying, there were people those kids did.
That was a big shock to the town afterwards too.
Yeah.
Specifically,
They all got zapped.
all drow as well.
Yeah, drow kids, which
Mm.
definitely rubbed penance the wrong way. That's a bit too close to home there. Bit of you know,
Well, that was
History.
yeah.
taking advantage of those that have nowhere to go. Definitely a big no.
Mm.
So penance
That was-
was pissed.
Understandable. Like Brad was the one who like we were gonna do like some sneaking and thing. Like I was giving you like guidance and stuff to
Yep.
sneak in, and then as soon as Brad was like, "Wait, there's
No,
kids being
he's-
experimented on," in.
He's Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo at
Bust
that
the
door.
door down.
Gaz
Oh, yeah.
and Daz is going in.
And also, I
There's
think,
no holding a big man back.
I don't think you can. You tried.
Saw those kids.
You can't put Daz back.
Weird.
Which-
Yeah, Daz.
Daz is in charge.
Oh,
That was also, I think, our first. We had the combat at the church
Daz
with.
the young fry.
First real
Um,
combat.
But like in that one, I don't think a couple of us even got goes. Like I think that was pretty quick. This was our first kind of big combat that went for a couple of rounds, and we had to like
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
people split off from each other. People were working together. Like it was really interesting to see who kind of was working together.
Yeah,
and
we
how
kind of
they-
started to mesh in that big
I think
final
so too.
combat.
Sort of.
We synced up into really good pairs. I believe.
Well, maybe you didn't.
we smashed it. We
you,
did a
yeah,
great
you
job.
two went together really
We
well.
we headed east and we just mowed down everybody along that line.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
So
we
we had
worked
a-
well.
Yeah, finally we were really good at that.
decapitated that, or like-
Sorry?
I think you guys bled out a guy from the ankles because you kept shooting.
Yeah.
And he tried to fire with the
Ankle
wind.
tap, ankle tap.
Just took his Achilles out and
Yeah.
he's like, try and run now,
Two
motherfucker."
of them went down so easy, and then one of them was just like, "Nah, man, I'm still here."
I mean, Petercock can do
Going
anything.
nowhere.
Yeah, so as soon as you guys found Minos, he threw his
Staff.
staff
yeah.
back
Mm.
and it went into a building somewhere, and you don't know what it did until you realize it activated.
Well, who was the first that went in and saw the crystal? Was it Tal?
I think it
Yes,
was.
it was.
Yeah.
And then
you
I
said,
called
"Oi,
Fenwick
Fenwick."
because it was more up his alley.
Yeah.
It was magical.
And my first response was, "Break it!"
Oh, finally!
If we'd done that, we would not be here.
in my defense, they hurt my cat.
Oh, true. They
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I was literally sitting next to you, just so stressed. Like, please don't break it. Don't get Gaz to hit it. Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
believe my exact words were, "Gaz, destroy."
Mhm.
So every couple of turns, the bomb emitted a kind of electrical shock, and that's what the townsfolk felt, and kind of injured them and all the cattle, unfortunately.
Barbecue.
Oh yeah, all the cattle were gone.
Special on beef this week.
But what were you guys? What's going through your heads at that time? You know, every couple of turns, there's this kind of electrical shock that's emanating from the building. You don't know what's in it. You have came out saying that it was some kind of crystal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to see if we could stop it somehow. I mean, I didn't know what was going on above the manor and around the manor, but it was immediate danger to all of us. So I wanted to get it stopped, but Tal's no magic user. He needed to find somebody else that was a bit smarter than him to figure it out. But
I think when you called me, and that sort of became the primary focus was, okay, what is this?
Mm.
Then how do we stop it? How do we diffuse it?
See, the penance is really bad with plan Bs when plan A makes sense, and plan A was kids are hurt, get them out.
Yeah.
So it was grab them and run. Like
Yeah.
everything else is for you guys to figure out.
You do your thing.
I think
That's it.
you and I were on the same track there.
Yeah.
It's like when we went in, I was a couple of times where you're like, oh, you're gonna get an opportunity attack, and I was like, I'm just running to
Yeah.
that kid because as soon as Hazel was like, all right, there are kids who are injured, and I'm like the main healer. It was like, fucking, how many kids can I get? Main
I find that offensive.
You.
Hey, hang on.
But you heal
How many
people by
have you
shoving
killed?
their fingers
How
off.
many have you killed?
Well, it's
That's
1-1 right now.
It was the same guy.
Still counts.
Oh,
Same mummy.
You can't heal somebody if they don't damage, right?
Like in Hazel's mind, you're more of a fighter. She's not a fighter. Like she knows how to use her mace, but she was just like, all right, I can heal, and she was very much doing the math of like, all right, these guys are getting attacked. I have to save enough healing slots to help these guys if they need it. But there's also 6 kids, and like I was fully just calculating how many slots do I have, how much can I heal people. Like are these kids alive? Because a couple of them weren't moving, and so anytime there was shocks, it was like, all right, who's hurt? What do I need to do?
So as soon as you saw them, that was the only priority.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it wasn't even like, what can I do to help that? It was just, all right, there were 6 children plus teammates. Who can I help?
So the electric bolt when that was happening was just these kids have got to cark it if we don't grab them and run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and also I think where we work well without actually telling each other that we could see that a couple of us were on the kids to get them to safety, and then the rest of us were dealing with the immediate danger, trying to stop it.
Yeah.
And
And
there's the
then
middle group who didn't actually know that there was a bomb.
yeah, well, well,
Yeah,
there's
what
that.
was Lark thinking that whole time?
This hurts.
I just want some answers. And then suddenly they told me that they defused the bomb.
But also, I'm very glad. I think this so far in this season, Alaric has not had any PTSD
Not yet.
issues.
No.
I mean, he did have a panic attack though. After the kids.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So did the kids.
So is that a triggering moment? Something that connects you to your past?
Yes.
Because that's the thing, I don't think you've ever, like, Alaric hasn't told any of the party about that yet, has he?
No.
Like, we're not
No,
really
I haven't
aware
said
of it.
anything
Yeah.
Well, we're all kind of new together.
just
Kind of
yeah.
met on our trip out to Thunder Rock, and we really haven't explored.
We haven't had an
Yes.
actual conversation yet.
No,
No,
we're kind
no,
of all
jerk in
colleagues.
there telling us what to do.
I think Hazel feels protective of Fenwick because he's just so little, and she's just like,
And
This-
she's so big.
yeah, and she's like this little, because they've met, we talked about our backstory that
Yeah.
like, they met at a library at the university in like the town.
Both kind of nerds.
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
nerds,
Kind
and
of.
it's like similar energy. But just
I
like,
resemble that remark.
like I think our
I'll
first
scream
session,
over.
you're like, oh yeah, I want to get off the ground, and I'm like, yeah, you can just be on my shoulder, and that was like just from there. I'm like, all right, Hazel is very protective of Fenwick, so the fact that she doesn't know what happened to you guys when the bomb went off, like that's I'm interested to see if Fenwick brings that up or
You
not.
didn't actually
Yeah.
know anything about what happened.
No, we
No,
were
we
gone.
don't.
So
We
you didn't know
I
anything
think
about
You're
the
chucking
bomb?
kids
Yeah.
into the
Or the
bomb.
chopped off
Like,
fingers?
we didn't see, yeah, we
Tal-
didn't see the fingers, we didn't see the body, because
That's
like,
good.
you guys got rid of it.
I can fix this.
I think Tal was the
Super
only
good.
one that saw what
Well,
Fenwick did too.
Yeah.
It's better than eating another
Oh,
second.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Oh, you mean the
Because you two were
Yeah.
running the
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
out.
Gaz and Alaric were
And-
there though.
Gaz and Alaric were dealing with.
Yes.
Alaric, what a guy. He wouldn't hurt anybody. What a such a pleasure to be with. I don't know why I'm going Irish. This isn't my character. I just like having a
I
kid.
thought you made Fenwick first.
I can hear voices.
so,
It's alright, I'll take over your role. Nothing like a little role reversal.
Reversal. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it
it's
is,
also-
it is entertaining to put in a reversal of accents at times.
I know we're searching back, are we?
Oh, that was smooth. Thank you for helping me get mine back. I lost it. It was gone.
so who remind me who disarmed the bomb? It was a mix between Tal and
Fenwick.
Fenwick.
Yeah.
Was it just the two of you?
I think so. I think on the night, Brad had a crack at the puzzle as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brad.
Yes.
Brad
Brad
was.
was you two and then Brad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it was all
because it was
three.
the-
I was sort of peeking over someone's shoulder in the last one as well.
Yeah, me.
Or was that
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
puzzle,
you
'cause I
pretty
would've
much
just-
pushed me out of the chair to get to it and finish it off, which is fine, you know.
I was like, I know this, I got this.
I'm just here to lift the heavy stuff.
Puzzles are my jam.
So you guys disarmed the crystal bomb,
Yes.
and nothing happened after that. And you're like, oh, that's cool.
But there is something that has been playing on my mind.
Yes.
Whether or not that thing that I wrist pocketed
Yeah.
will still explode when the hour lapses and the spell dissipates and it comes back to this plane.
Well, it depends on how long the explosion goes for.
Well, that's what I mean. These are the things that I don't know.
Don't worry, we have second.
Find out next time.
Stay
Dragon
tuned.
Ball Z.
I was gone up. I was like, I shouldn't.
On Beyblades.
I missed that.
Like an
Yeah.
explosion.
No, we will do that. That's one of the ideas. Eventually, they will put Beyblades into one of the games.
I got the collection ready, so I'm good. I'm an adult with $250 of Beyblade collection. Okay, I'm set.
Look, we wouldn't be here if we weren't nerds.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What?
thought this was a cult.
I'm
Sorry.
this. Another quick question.
Sorry,
So Fenrix, did he study any crystal math?
Math.
Crystal math.
Crystal man.
Crystal mathematics. Crystal math at college.
I imagine there would have been some use of crystal math in the
Experimental phase.
in the experimentation of certain recipes and formulas. No, I imagine given that his primary focus is gravity, there would be some out there components.
So looking forward, there are more things like these structures that are built with crystals, whether or not they are lethal or they are for other uses. Do you think your Fenric would be into that or look further into that and try
Given that it's become a thing,
Yeah.
it'll probably be a point of research for the next little while. However, I don't know that he's going to focus on it.
Well, technically, we found out that the kids are being injected with crystals, so
Yeah.
maybe that would be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I'll
off to
do-
research that bit.
There will definitely be some research in that area, but I think the focus will end up staying on his chosen field.
What do you think was going on when the kids were getting kind of sewn in crystals into the arms and chests?
That was messed up.
I was literally nearly crying when we found out they had all these crystals. Like I was like, oh.
I thought they
this
were hiding
is
cocaine in there.
bad. Oh my God.
I think my theory is the cult that was doing the experiments was trying to make some kind of super soldier.
That makes
Because the
sense.
crystals have these properties. We've discovered so far that the red ones create heat, and the black ones lightning or electricity. So they're putting these crystals into the kids to get them to get powers, basically.
But I remember,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was talking out of school or not, but I remember somebody mentioning something to do with the god weapons.
Yeah, that was mentioned.
It's because they want the kids to hold the god weapons.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I asked him a few questions.
Yeah, Alan
Yeah.
got that down pat, my boy.
It's always better just to be polite, just ask a question once in a while.
That's it.
But like that makes me wonder if there's like a prophecy or if it's because kids are easier to like manipulate than adults. But like
Yeah.
why
Or
kids specifically?
Apparently, they held better. Like the crystals were the crystals held
Stay
better
in
in
there.
children, so they could get more in, so that children could hold the god weapon longer. And what was it, 10 seconds or a second?
I think it was
Was it
10
reckon?
seconds was the
10
right
seconds. I mean, if you got a god weapon that can wipe out gods, 10 seconds you can wipe out a continent.
Also,
Probably.
theoretically, like they're drow, so they don't live like normal
Yeah,
human age. So if it worked, they would be able to potentially do it for a long time.
Yeah.
What's the bet? It's high elves funding it to happen, and they consider drows not people at all.
It's a halfling. It's always a fucking halfling.
Fucking halflings.
I mean-
you know, right?
Yes.
We do know from the map that the high elves live in the bottom continent, or the bottom like nation kind of thing. I don't remember what it's called, but that was like
pirates.
pirates. They're very secretive. They live underground, and they're the ones that have all the crystals and the tech. And so like we don't know what the high elves are doing, but that would not surprise me.
Well, we don't know if they're good or bad.
No, wait. Oh, no, never mind. I'm trying to remember the map. I just remembered.
They're done the
And
very
it's a minor
bottom.
question.
Yeah, there's a desert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So a crystal desert.
with crystal
Spires.
spires and
shooting
everything. Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am, because I'm me.
Thomas, you're wrong.
That's it. Thanks.
You're wrong. You're wrong all the time.
We were told that all the gods died because someone killed them with the god weapon, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So why did they need a god weapon when all the gods are dead?
Domination.
But the
Yeah.
god weapons, so the god wielded the weapons, so they can kill each other.
Oh, okay.
That's
But
why-
did
that's
they
why
all die?
Apparently, one's still kicking
They all
and just
died.
brought this bugger back.
Yes. Shh. We'll get to that in a little bit.
We'll
Like,
unfold it.
my understanding is 'cause,
It- it-
I'm a cleric, so I obviously draw my power from like my belief in the gods and
Yeah.
stuff. So like I believe it's from like the weapons still have power, even if the gods are like dead. Is that right? Like
Yes.
we
I imagine it.
So there's still magic in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's also probably a political and domination thing.
Mm.
So whoever holds the god weapon, whoever wields it, has power over the other countries.
Nukes.
That's what's fascinating.
Basically,
You
yeah.
have an imaginary friend.
So from messing with drunk people and talking to cows
Cows.
What?
That was in our audition. That was the audition.
and and fighting
you do
imaginary
it?
flamingos. The tone of the campaign really went.
Oh, it got dark. It got
It
dark.
got grim.
No, it didn't. Everything's perfectly fine.
It got so grim.
As far as we know, no, it didn't.
Oh,
It's just
I
another
mean,
fight.
the kids is pretty gruesome.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
kids
but,
are grim.
but we saved them. They're alive, and it looks like they're going to have a place to stay kicking and not die. So as far as we know, this is a happy ending. As far as everyone else in the party
It's not so
knows,
sad.
Yeah.
it's a little bit more wild.
Yeah.
And
fine,
Fenwick's
it's all fine.
just in the corner going, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
So let's go to that right now. So so Fenwick died while trying to save the rest of the party in that room, and there was an explosion. You contained it somewhat, but before it could be fully contained and moved to another dimension, it burned your eyeballs out and blew
Blew
out
out
your
the back of
brains.
his head.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Tell me what happened when you died. What happened?
So, Fenwick was transported to, best I can figure, an extra dimensional space, and was spoken to by, led to believe, Avon himself. Himself, herself, itself, the guy. And had to make a deal for his life, essentially, which was to inscribe
Just holding up the camera angles.
Why are you down there? To inscribe Avon's rune at, I believe, the top of Thunder Rock Mountain.
On the God Forge.
On the God Forge, that's right. Reluctantly agreed, although whether or not with ulterior motive, time will tell. And then, popped back into existence as if nothing happened, except there's another Fenwick there with a hole in his head.
Yeah.
And you've got a pretty
With
gnarly
Carl
tattoo.
holding the body.
Oh yeah, and he got a gnarly tattoo.
So you brought something back with you.
I'm jealous.
Profound sense of PTSD.
Oh, finally.
The party grows.
Join mine.
And has now got the symbol of Avon in a glowing, pulsing purple tattoo. Nice colour choice, by the way.
Thank you.
On his arm that he tried to stick onto Minos' head, and nothing happened.
They're just like,
So he just sort of left Alaric to his own devices.
Oh, we should never do that.
But yeah, so now Fenwick has essentially a secret mission, which I will fill everybody in on when time allows.
what do you think that tattoo is? Or what do you think it means?
I think Fenwick wouldn't be sure. Fenwick wouldn't really know what it is other than maybe a brand.
No,
He might look into research into such sigils and arcane markings. Me as a player and a DM, I think it's a way to track and observe, to see through and around Fenwick, to make sure that he's on the right track, maybe to have an element of control later, which mildly concerns me as well.
we can cut it off,
Well, see, I was thinking it was
Sure.
going to be a full alien situation where it like goes up the arm and just bursts out of the chest.
Well, that does remain to be seen. Only a couple of hours have passed.
Yeah, might be a long rest thing.
Or like the Harry Potter thing where Voldemort's on the back of your head.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fenwick.
It's just a
If he
face.
starts wearing a turban, I'm getting concerned.
Ignore my beanie.
But no, I'm not rightly sure what it could be. I'm not rightly sure what it is. I have a few ideas on what it could be. I guess we'll wait and see which of them pan out.
It was a first.
Maybe. It could be like a Suicide Squad, like a little detonation thing.
You could have a crystal in your arm. What if it's a crystal?
I hadn't thought of that one.
What if you could hold the god weapon now?
Hold me.
You could hold
that?
his god weapon.
Hey?
You could hold the god weapon of like the person like.
Or maybe.
That had actually crossed my mind.
Ooh.
But
But-
the kids did it for 10 seconds before they died.
Yeah, but
True,
Fenwick's
they
no
weren't,
kid.
they weren't touched by Hang on, let me rephrase this.
Your body was made by Avon.
Essentially, yeah.
Legit. It's not. It's not like he healed your body, which
That's-
he probably could have done.
Yeah.
Instead, he gave you a new one.
Interesting.
That raises another question, which I've also pondered: is Fenwick
Fenwick. I hate this. I hate
is
clones and healing.
is Fenwick actually the same person, or is it just a facsimile, a simulacrum?
Wait, Shimmer accepted you though, right? You're Shimmer.
I believe Shimmer was a little standoffish to start with.
A god can trick a cat. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Also, Shimmer is just a damn cat. So yeah, like
Interesting.
from a writer's perspective, like the ways you can go with this boggle the mind.
Be interesting to see what happens to him.
Let's
Such
get
a-
through it. Let's get through it.
I also have a sneaking suspicion that you're still working on exactly what happens, and maybe you're just probing me for suggestions.
Like,
He's
right
rolling
there.
dice every time.
What do you
That's
think
really
it is? Oh, it could be
good.
this, could be this, could be this. Ooh, let's take some notes.
What does the internet think?
To be fair, me and Ken know, we both know what it is.
Oh, no.
It's actually we've gone down that path.
It reminds you, for those that are as weeby as I am, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles for the old anime fans out there. That's very much what I'm getting a vibe of where this is headed. Yeah, we'll leave that. Those that know.
This is not that kind of channel.
It is for me. I have an arm dedicated to anime so far. Okay.
And this is not dedicated to other types of animation.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
We're gonna read it.
yeah. You know, I can't turn around, but for those who want to.
It's a tent.
brand rep right there.
So, for most of you, well, mostly Tal, I think, had the biggest reaction to Fender coming back.
Oh, it scared the shit out of him. Like he's raced over and picked up Fenwick's lifeless body with half of his head missing, and all of a sudden
losing on the floor.
and all of a sudden Fenwick's standing next to him, going, "What's happening?" And it freaked him out. Like he's never seen anything like this. Like he's seen bits and pieces of magic growing up in Aradan, but nothing this powerful. And to sort of be holding a lifeless corpse in his hand, and all of a sudden the person that belongs to that lifeless corpse is standing next to him. Yeah, it freaked him out. But he also knows the sacrifice that Fenwick made with the clutch move that he did. Like he saw him pull that into it, some whatever it was, and lessen the explosion, and saved it. Well, all of the party. He doesn't know how big the explosion was going to be, but
Maybe we all did, and he's the only one alive.
yeah, maybe.
Like we did get a glimpse into that. We got a glimpse into that alternate reality before you found that spell and said, like, this is what I do. There was that moment where we were like, okay, you're dead. I think you were down or dead. It was like 50 damage or something. So I think pretty much
Yeah,
everyone was
it's-
either down or dead, which meant like
Yeah.
we probably would have lost most of the party. There was a moment where we were like, oh, okay, we're gonna have to start it up again.
I'll sit there going like, good, we got the kids. That's the rest of the new party. Raise down,
So we had-
we're sad. That's
So,
normal.
campaign 2, we're all drowned.
Yeah.
And kids.
And children.
Drowned children.
But yeah, so we had that like that little glimpse of like the alternate version of that before Doug was like, oh, hang on, I have this spell. Done. Clutch move.
Yeah.
And that was really like
So
also.
It's almost
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tal
Tal's
idea of one.
Tal's pretty shaken by it, and he's probably going to be holding Fenwick in high regard for a long time.
Do you think this will affect how he kind of interacts with magic, or even?
Well, he's probably going to have a bit of a greater respect for it, but he doesn't really understand it. Like, it's not his thing. So he's more of a planner, get in, get what he needs, get out sort of thing. He doesn't rely on he doesn't rely on magic to do it. He relies on himself to do what he does. So I guess previously he's seen the magic that he's seen. It's that utilitarian magic where people are using it to assist them to do things. So he just sees it as a tool or a crutch. When he can do something himself, like move through a building and not have anyone see him or anything like that, he's never used magic to do that. But now that he's seen what it potentially could do. Like he's going to go, yeah, I don't know if I really want to mess around with that stuff, but yeah, he'll have a greater respect for it, but yeah, he's probably not going to mess around with it.
Fair enough.
So,
A little scared of it.
yeah.
Maybe more cautious.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
touch the crystals. Probably.
It's no more crystal now.
Who has the crystals in the group? Do you?
I believe
Yeah, I
Gaz-
grabbed a bunch.
Gaz has heaps.
Gas has
Yeah.
a bunch. Carl has a bunch.
Which
I think Gaz
disturbs
just like,
me.
ooh, shiny.
No,
Yeah.
I trust. I feel like Gaz is going to do something amazing with those crystals. I don't know what, but it'll be
he's gonna feed Gaz with them.
Daz is just going to be this super.
power chicken.
Yeah.
Fire breathing chicken.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't even think Brad knows what Gaz
It's gonna be like the final finale of the season is like a dragon and ice.
We're all just on the sidelines of
Chilling
cheering.
up it.
It's kind of like
Godzilla.
Godzilla and Kong.
Oh, we need to print a massive
Massive Daz.
Daz,
Yeah.
and then Godzilla on the other side. As players, this is a question for you as players. Knowing that the gods have been dead for, say, 2 centuries, and now knowing that Fenric has been arisen and have spoken to possibly a dead god, what do you think is happening with the gods? How do you think this will affect the way that you kind of approach religion and all that areas of the city?
Quick question: because we know which god it is, right? That was
We don't know that, but yeah.
no, but like
It's
you know which
Avon.
god it is. It was
Haven.
Avon, and
Yeah.
Avon
Who's
is
the betrayer god?
betrayer
who's
god.
the betrayer god from.
You killed all the others.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's kind of from my country,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, Joe.
which I ran away from. So it's probably Penance is gonna panic. Penance is gonna panic hardcore. Yeah.
It actually raises another interesting question too, because I believe general consensus is that all of the gods are dead, right?
Yeah.
All together.
So if one's still alive, maybe the others are too.
Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe they're just all sealed behind some super duper magic wall that we can't access.
Yeah.
And that they can't breach.
Or if we kill him too, then there's no gods.
Or maybe he is the last one and he's trying to get free so we can dominate everything.
Yeah.
Total world domination.
Who thinks their character's gonna be in denial?
Well, see, like, because I think I'm the only religious character in the group because
Yes.
I'm a cleric.
Mm.
Like Hazel was raised by her uncle, who is part of an order that is in Clearwater, and they very specifically follow Terra, the goddess of like creation and all that sort of thing. But like for her, she wasn't raised necessarily like she knew the god was dead, so she was raised believing like her order believes in the process of creation and the sanctity of the creation and the power of like words and thoughts and knowledge. So she's always grown up just kind of believing more in that and being like, oh, it's a nice legacy that our goddess has given us is this power and knowledge and creation.
And you have to protect it.
The idea now that her god might be alive and like what that could mean for like not just her order but like the world and like the powers and the fact that there's other gods who might be alive that will potentially threaten creation itself and what world is currently is kind of like.
So
That'd
you were
be-
believing more in what your god stood for as opposed
Yeah.
to your god.
Because like
Yes.
that's the thing when I was making a cleric character for this game, and we knew that the gods have been dead for a couple of centuries. Like Hazel isn't enough, so she hasn't been alive that long. She's never known the god to be alive. So it's like, how do you justify a cleric character in a world where the gods are dead? But it was always about that process of creation and the power of creation and knowledge for her and her order. So yeah, the god being alive to her isn't as important as people might think it is. To her, it's more about like, okay, what does this other god being potentially alive mean for just everything that's the legacy and the power currently?
Yeah, so it's like the remnant magic and
Yeah.
the legacy and kind of the teachings of
Yeah.
the gods.
Well, because her order does a very specific job, and so to her, it's more about like, okay, how do we preserve all this? And oh my god, what does this mean for like everything else currently? But it'd be cool if her god's alive. She'd be pretty happy about that because it's like sick. Her god's alive. That's cool.
I think Alarg is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He didn't grow up from a lot of religion, so he's having a lot of issues adjusting to how can bad stuff happen if there's gods taking care of us. And now this douche is showing up, controlling one of his friends, so He's just gonna have to find a way to take him out.
Maybe control.
Maybe.
We don't know yet.
Well, I mean, eventually we'll see. I don't know.
If you see me
Well,
every text
who is this guy
you
who-
text in the game, you know what's
Wait,
I
going
feel
on.
does that mean I need to keep my phone on me now?
Yes. I feel like Alara's going to try and cut the fingers off a god. I see that happening. Or like Alara's going to be the one that tries to punch God in the face. Like I feel like Alara would do that.
Yes.
Like cloud situation. Massive
You and
sword,
me.
jump into the sky. So, in terms of going back to the city, so
Back to our
yeah, one of the biggest issues if you ever go back to Aradan is
Oh.
that you have to report back. If you wanted to, you could report back to the Champions Guild. But now knowing that one of the head scribes, the people who is probably second or third in command.
Did we take any proof of Minos' involvement?
We've got Tiberius.
That's
So-
all the proof we need. He's our boy. He's got our back.
We also haven't spoken really to Tiberius since we got back to Thunder Rock, so I don't know what kind of state he's in.
Well, the other thing.
Well,
He was healing, I remember.
There was some healing, but I don't know what his mental state is like. If he's in denial or if he'll actually be a viable witness.
He's not smart enough to be in denial. Everything's two-face value.
So we think.
he's an open book with 2 pages.
Yeah, that's
The first
Did
one
you
just
get
says
it?
title.
pretty much it.
So would you be looking to go back to figure out what's happening, or would you like avoid that?
I think that's a discussion we would need to have as a group. I think if we do go back and try to retain our positions, I would suggest maybe trying to go above the Heroes Guild, the Champions Guild, to who they report to, if anybody. Like take it straight to the very, very top and say corruption all the way up to this point. Chances are poison
Yeah.
spreads.
I think that's the question is how much can we trust the guild? If this one person was part of it, is it just him or was it the whole
Yeah,
guild
does
was
it go
like
deeper?
compromised?
And how far up the food chain does it go?
Because like
Exactly.
Tiberius seems surprised, but like, is his dad
'Cause-
involved?
Because we've had an encounter with a illusion of
The
the
Viceroy.
of
Viceroy.
the Viceroy. So is
Yeah.
the Viceroy involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, Tiles, he wants to go back to the city, but mainly because that's where the Drow children are from, and he wants to get them back.
Yeah.
He has connections within the Drow community, and so yeah, he wants to ensure that they get back to their homes.
Yeah, the families.
So yeah.
I think we should join them just to see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
100%. Penance would, without question, want to dive into getting the Drow children home, safe. Everything else is kind of secondary when it comes to those that have a similar plight to his history. Dylan, however, desperately wants to push the button of putting that rune up.
Let's
Desperately.
let's pull that thread and see what happens.
Oh yeah, I'd just dive into that main story. Let's go. Woof. But Penance, not even. He would run. He would be so petrified because it's just the one god that has no history of good.
But when taking it up the chain as well, because if I recall correctly, the Viceroy is an Aarakocra style being based on, if I recall, Pink Flamingo.
Yes.
Flamingo Big Bird.
And I believe the last words from Avon to me before I came back to the normal realm was, "Beware the Pink Flamingo."
Yes.
Oh.
You'd forgotten about that, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It
a
could
hot
be
minute.
anyone, literally.
There's only one pink flamingo in Aradan.
Yes.
That's also the question is like,
Maybe it's a bar.
But
we've
what,
got the betrayer god, but like there's always two sides to a story,
Yeah.
and do we know what his side of the story
what
is? or
does
their
he
side
mean
of the
by
story is?
beware?
Yeah.
Does he mean stay away from because he's trouble, or because he'll stop the plan, or is he part of it, or is he a rival? Is he
Or is he just a crazy bird?
or is he just a crazy bird? I mean, he's a flamingo. I'd be crazy if I was a flamingo. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
You would smell terrible too.
Oh yeah, they yeah. Ibis.
Don't they poop on themselves?
Oh,
Flamingos?
possibly.
I mean, they
Still-
mostly eat shrimp. That's why they get the pink color from.
Oh,
That makes sense.
okay. I thought that's from just drinking strawberry milkshakes.
That's only in
Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Where's something I can throw here?
So I'm very excited for you guys to get to the city and to
Mm.
kind of look at the repercussions of
Okay.
what happened. But also, I think there will be some recognition of, not just from the Heroes Guild, but from the guards of kind of what happened and the city folk. Because Thunder Rock is pretty close to them. And it's a pretty famous tourist town. So if things happen, news travel fast. Are there any ulterior motives or kind of goals that your characters have that we can know about once you get to the city? Like I know about the drow, I know about but any in the background, saying getting money, just climbing up to be a champion, finding your dead son or something like that, whatever it may be.
Some backstory.
Strangely specific.
Fenthwick was driven to join the university and to study and to advance his knowledge in graviturgy. Now I think, at least for the short term, his intentions are going to be more specific to Avon, the sigil on his arm, what that could involve, how to potentially use these crystals to our benefit, and research on the god weapon, the god forge, all of that. See what he's getting into. Specifically wants to see what the sigil on his arm is about, because if it can be used for our benefit against Avon, that might be something that we look into, like sort of use it as a double, triple agent sort of thing, maybe.
I'll be interested to see what you find out.
As will I.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
Make sure you brush up on all that lore creation, because I'll be asking questions.
I've written a book.
I'll just be rolling dice.
I've written my own Bible.
If I roll high enough, do I just get the Bible?
Yeah, I'll send you the copy.
I think Alari is just going for redemption.
Redemption.
Whichever way he has to carve it.
By cutting off fingers.
Interesting way to put that, Thomas.
It's like Solomon Kane over here.
And I can't speak for Brad, but I think it'll be interesting to see where he goes for his character.
I think you know what Brad really wants. I think Brad's character really wants to get together with Daisy.
Will there be kind of a marriage and
No,
kids
that's
situation?
what Thomas wants Brad to do.
Oh, Veggie.
It could be like a whole side thing that we have, like a spin-off show, Brad and Daisy.
Well, that's the thing, we don't really, because we don't know our characters a lot yet.
Crazy.
Like, we don't know if, like, Gaz has family back home. We don't know a lot about his character, so he might have like a wife we don't know about, or something, or a husband, or
True.
He's cheating.
we don't know.
All we really do know is that
Different
his farm was getting killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or his farm was dying,
Yeah.
I should say.
I think it's like a protection of home sort of thing. But through the journey, this has become a case where he develops a new home along the way, and then home itself feels like a stale meal in comparison to what he's carved out for himself in the world.
I imagine he originally came to Aradan and joined the guild to secure funds to help
Yes.
keep his farm alive, keep it going
Yeah.
until it can heal and start growing again.
Some of the gold that he's after then. Once he gets
I think
there.
so. The payday.
Yeah.
Ask him, yeah.
Tal joined the guild to hide from some trouble that he'd gotten into. So
That sounds interesting.
he has no allegiance to the guild at all. It was just a means to an end.
It's a cover.
He has connections within the city in several different layers of society.
Thieves Guild.
Well, within the Thieves Guild, within some of the minor nobility. He grew up in one of the most renowned brothels in the city that his adopted mother owns and runs. And got into an altercation with one of the patrons, and who was a minor noble who could cause a lot of trouble for him. So he went, instead of that trouble getting brought to the brothel, he'll just make himself scarce.
Jet off.
Yeah, so he just joined the Heroes Guild to sort of hide. So he doesn't really have any allegiance to them, but he's certainly forming some bonds with his current party members. So and he's, while doing things in the past he's done occasionally with one or two other people, he's never really worked together with a close-knit group. and he can see the advantages of that now with working with people of different skill levels and all that sort of thing. So he's sizing everybody up, seeing like how they can benefit him, but there's also there's emotional attachment starting to sort of creep in. So
He almost died.
yeah. So he'll probably reassess things a little bit more. He maybe not be so impulsive.
I think it's gonna be an interesting
Maybe
chapter.
he'll just go, you know what? I didn't die last time. What's going? You know,
Best out of 3.
yeah. Let's give it another shot. I'm willing to gamble. So
Play games with fate.
yeah.
And Hazel, because it's going for more knowledge.
Yeah, so Hazel,
All of the knowledge.
all the
Hazel's
knowledge.
also knowledge.
For Hazel, her ultimate goal is to become a scholar in her order, the Order of the Silver Quill. And so to do that, basically recruits have to sort of go off on a knowledge quest, and that can last, depending on the race, you can go for a year or you can go for decades. And the idea is that you go out into the world, you accumulate knowledge that you think is worthy, and when you feel like you have a worthwhile contribution to the archives and the library, you come back to the library itself.
And then you come back and you write The Hobbit.
Yes, you're right about that. But like the idea is that you have to
Submarine.
bring back knowledge that is a worthy contribution. And so for her, joining the Heroes Guild was like, these quests are kind of self-funded, so it was a chance to get money for a quest, but also like if you get a high enough rank in the Hero or the Champions Guild, you can become, I think it was Relic Hunter, which seemed very interesting to her. She thought this might be a good way to get her knowledge quest completed, and then she's now found herself in this situation, and this seems like a story worth telling and knowledge worth finding out, and so she's pretty keen to kind of figure out what's actually happening.
So she might be devastated if she was not allowed back into the Champions Guild.
Yeah, I think if your allegiance isn't to the Champions Guild, hers is always with the Order primarily, so she doesn't really have the allegiance to the Champions Guild. So if she can't get in with the Champions Guild, that would not be great, because that means it might be harder to get the knowledge, but if this is a worthy contribution, like this seems like a thread worth following. So yeah, she kind of, her allegiance is always going to be with the Order primarily, but she's also very much a fiercely kind of loyal person. So this group, these are probably the first friends she's had outside of the Order, because she never left the library. She grew up in a library and she's never left before, so this is kind of her first
Such an
time.
old man.
Homeschool.
She's quite
She's pretty stacked from just being in the library.
oh yeah, lifting a
All
lot
the
of heavy
books,
books. Yeah, she lifts all the heavy books.
Lift them
People are like, I can
words.
carry 10 books a hand. You're like, 25.
Yeah, so because she's like,
box of books.
Yes.
she's
should
like
be heavy,
19,
yes.
so she's pretty young. So first time leaving home, this is her going on her knowledge quest to like fulfill what she sees as her kind of dreams since she was a kid. And so yeah,
Like moving to New York.
yeah.
So literally no one wants to actually have this job.
Well, it's,
No, it has
I
to
think
be-
for everybody it's a means to an end.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think most people that join the Champions Guild or the Heroes Guild, that's what it is. You know, they're either trying to escape something, they're trying to find something.
Or they're using it to better themselves,
Yeah.
better their station.
What's
Yeah.
the case of Penance then? What's his reason
Ah,
for the girl?
yes. Penance fell under some misfortune and got robbed.
Tal.
Yes.
Plot twist, it was Tal.
Mate, look, you're gonna leave your shit lying around. It's not nailed down. I might be a little morally ambiguous
Your
about
name
the
wasn't on
ownership of people's things.
Or if
I
it
might
means
want it
special.
more, or someone else might want it more and is willing to pay me to do it. But you know,
You're a relocator of items.
I am.
No, I am a stowaway, a runaway from up north, across the country. Probably a similar backstory to many of those drowned children. But I got taken in by a lovely. Dylan wants to say cult,
That's such a bad word.
but blood mages. Their blood magic is taught in this area. It's secluded, hidden. Nobody knows of it. I stumbled across it.
Secret order.
Secret order, and they raised me. And in order to show my gratitude, I decided I'm going to study really, really hard, faster than they were willing to teach. So I borrowed a book which teaches, and I fell asleep reading it, and someone else came and collected it.
It definitely wasn't me, mate.
No, I'm a little bit further out of
I
town than
only
you.
take books from the library.
And so Penance changed his name to Penance in order to lead up to that to go on to.
Yeah, what's his original name?
Oh, what you guys like to know?
It was Michael.
I haven't read it in so long. I can't remember.
It's Venice.
It's Venice. Oh, what left leg up, Dylan?
And no one wants to see
We
that.
discussed this earlier.
Terrence, it's Terrence.
Terrence.
But yeah, so after getting the book stolen and getting really grilled by the order I'm a part of, it was sent out. Basically, come home when you find it. And
Well, I was done
relic hunters, yeah, exactly. Well, relic hunters came across my information. And I went, well, Champions Guild, relic hunter. This is probably going to fall into some illegal auctions and be sold. That seems to be the fastest way to get in, because some tiefling going into Aradin and going, hey, let me into those illegal underground auctions. I need to buy a book. Won't go down well with the local guards.
You're a tiefling?
Think so? Yeah.
My tail.
I just thought it was a lot of gel in your hair.
Well,
It's
I mean,
really spiky.
I have 4 horns.
Because 2's just not enough.
No.
Hell no. And I mean, it's very easy for the red skin to blend in with my stark white hair.
Just a thought, does that make you devilishly handsome?
Oh yes, dangerously so, especially after I drink. I developed that. So I don't know as much about the blood magic that I should, but what I did know is chemicals are fun.
And I'm not dependent at all.
Not at all.
I
Not
give
at
it
all.
up anytime
I
I
only
want.
take one a day, every day. Might end up being more later on. We'll see.
Here we
All
all
you
are
do is
making,
coma day. Keeps the doctor.
Exactly.
Um,
here we are
let me
making jokes
do,
about crystal math, and you're all about the chemical
Thank
consumption.
one of our viewers, one of the most ferocious commenters, commented in most of our videos, Canuck Down Under, who also won the dice box giveaway. Thank you for that. Which we actually don't have yet still. We're getting it created because our first supplier kind of disappeared on us, but our second supplier is much
Technical
better.
We
difficulties.
took care.
Yeah.
Ah!
No.
Hilarious.
Our second dice box is from
Sorry,
Level
Alaric.
Up Dice.
Hilarious.
So they, I think they sponsored our, not sponsored, but they hosted our
They
videos
are
before.
hosting our channel.
Yeah, they hosted our channel.
Insane.
Nice.
Twitch.
So shout out to Level Up Dice, and we'll tell you more about it once we have some boxes in our hands, and we've kind of talked a few more things about what we want to do with that
They're
partnership.
dice. I have used their dice. I used their dice.
And they're a luxury dice
Absolutely.
company, and they look amazing. If I had more money, I would buy
Are
it.
they the ones that you're using for the camp? The green stone jade?
The camouflage.
Those are so.
J
Those are
African
the-
J one.
Oh, yeah, I need a set of those.
Yes, thank you,
Might have
Level
to
Up
find some
Dice.
justice or something.
Thank you, Level
Let
Up
me know
Dice.
and I will hook you.
I'll give you a 2% off this.
Family friendly.
100% markup. Come on, right.
for me.
And hopefully later on as well, we might be in partnership with a miniature printing service. So we might actually get some bad guys miniatures shipped to us soon.
I mean, we can't use Easter eggs every time.
No, just the
Oh,
chocolates. We'll do what is it?
Lint balls?
Lip balls.
Oh,
We do
that's
Ferrero
sick.
Rochers.
Oh, you put up
Yes.
Ferrero Rochers, I will kill everything on the table.
Yes.
Not before I do
I will massacre
Favorites.
the table.
Does not matter. My character's kind of a
You know what?
pacifist. I will go and.
I'll take it out of game, I'll kill all y'all. to get that
Yeah, for the Ferrero Rochers, I respect that.
Once we
I am
have
hard to kill,
miniatures,
Doug.
one.
We should have a whole episode just trying to paint the eyes, right?
Oh.
Oh, there could be a heist, you know.
And then we could all see which one of us is worse.
There's a vault in the castle. It's where the god killer weapon is. You can heist it.
Do you know what good heist?
I don't know.
Is
I
that paint
start
eyes?
watching Ocean's 11, 12, 13,
Eight.
Italian Job,
18,
Confident.
69.
Italian job, my
Yes.
friend. Ah,
Yes.
yes.
Wait, original or remake?
Both.
Original.
Marky Mark.
That's
it.
That's good, Marky Mark.
I'm Marky Mark and y'all the Funky Punch.
You know, that was a remake, right?
It was? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Marky Mark.
original's from
Yeah.
1960.
Which was
Yeah,
Michael
it's like
Caine
the
did it.
60s.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have
Michael
seen
Caine.
that one as well. Sorry.
It's got Alfred in it.
That's
Yep.
fine.
I have seen that one as well. I just
Kids
forgot-
these days.
I
Kids
am
these days.
sorry. I'm sorry I don't remember the one from 3 generations
I mean,
before my
I
birth.
I haven't seen
Hey, it was
Michael
before
Caine, but I just know
mine.
he's in it.
Hey, it was before even mine, and I.
My point.
Shut up, Doug.
What do you mean? Doug is 26.
Yeah,
Doug's
26.
plus experience.
So on the chart.
Plus experience.
Yeah, and I'm 30 with 20 years experience.
So you're dual class, that's why you're that well.
I want to say that every Sunday we'll have an episode, and next week, so the week after this episode airs, we'll have episode 7. We're going back to normal. We're going to do our what happens next, what happens to the kids. I think you guys are trying to save them. They kind of stabilized.
We were talking to Connor, the higher up cleric.
So is our next gameplay session a live session?
Yes.
It will be a live session.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you mean? All of these are live
All of
sessions.
them are live.
I didn't know. What's
What's
going on?
What are you talking about?
Yes, we meticulously wear exactly the same clothes for
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row.
But you guys have different clothes?
I do want to see
fun.
that shirt you wore come back. I want to see the very bright.
Oh, right.
I want to see that shirt come back.
I'll do it on 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Alright.
I'll do
On 100 subscribers, I will get a full head of hair back.
Woo!
Yes.
I'll make it happen.
Is there a time limit on it?
it.
Magic.
It's like Red Dead Redemption. Just put oil on it.
Yeah.
It's just lotion.
Who knows, maybe at 100 subscribers I'll dress like a normal person instead of like a pretentious twat.
You do dress like a normal person.
No.
I love the suits.
Yeah.
And the vests.
Have a top hat on 100 subscribers.
Oh,
Have a
okay.
top hat.
Yeah.
Bring
Hat.
one.
100 subscribers, we would just dress real fancy.
Yeah.
We just have a fancy.
If you don't have the
episode.
subscribers, I'll just ask for more.
See, which is like a tiny amount for any other channel. For us, we're like, this is the biggest
Yeah, this
thing
is
that's
so
ever
big.
happened to us.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
We're
That's
just
it.
pushing this
That's
choo-choo train right off the cliff now.
Just like a lark, you start with one finger, then you start with the next finger, then you chop it. We've got to
Next
build
thing you
our way
know,
up.
Cool
By
head.
the way.
Yeah. On 1,000 subscribers, I'll put Thomas the Tank Engine in the campaign.
Oh my god, yes.
It has to be a tank engine.
Yeah.
Not a tank engine.
Tank Engine.
Love it.
Might be a dwarf mech. You never know.
Immediately, I'm thinking of how to blow it up. Immediately.
Crystals.
I'm thinking of all the
Gotta get some
components that
crystals.
I can take from it and make contraptions with.
I'm thinking about how I'm going to put the face on. And how to explain why there's a face on this mech.
Oh, I feel
So
like that's gonna get
now all I'm thinking of is like Matrix Revolutions with the baby face machine.
What is it, the spider colony then?
No,
No,
they're like
that's
right at the end
Futurama.
of the third one. In the third Matrix movie, right at the end, there's the big floaty gold machine. And a baby face. Have you not seen it?
No, I don't remember that.
You're fucking fired.
When you say babyface, I'm thinking like Teletubbies, the sun.
No, so there's in the end of the, it doesn't
You up.
it doesn't matter.
Join us next episode when Doug
Kids these
explains.
days.
If someone in the comments, please tell Hero what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
what are we talking about?
I haven't seen it, so I have no clue.
Wait, question. Thomas the Tank Engine,
We're back there.
right? Was that a petrol train, coal train, or a steam train?
All three.
Magic
It's hybrid.
It's a hype train.
Because you say tank engine, you think petrol.
No, I think they were called.
Dylan?
Pretty sure it has a coal
It's coal,
wagon.
it has a coal
wagon.
No,
It was
this
a
is
kid's
important.
show.
This is important because if it's a petrol one, I want to get the redstones and put it in the fuel tank.
No, it's coal.
No, it's
I'm
coal.
pretty sure it's coal.
Yeah.
I am.
Damn it.
So all the
And
all
they,
the rocks
they
that
had big
are
water
Brad's
tanks on
line.
them.
Why
to-
would you just
Oh,
give
the
it a
steam.
question?
Yeah.
No, legitimately.
So I want to blow it up.
legitimately, there is a
But you can always
movie.
blow it up.
There's a Thomas Tank Engine movie with Alec Baldwin playing the
Eric
conductor.
Baldwin.
And he, the like, literal plot point is that like the diesel engines are like the mean ones, and he like threatens them with a bag of sugar. He's like, "I'll pour this in your tank," and he like is threatening them with sugar because that like messes up a tank apparently if you put diesel and sugar together.
This is like the best movie I've ever heard of.
It's amazing. Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
So that's
Sugar
number
is-
one on my watch list, and then it's Lawnmower Man.
I have some younger cousins who were obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine, so I've watched most of the movies.
I was a Willow kid.
Sure, blame your cousins.
Yeah.
I was 20 at the time.
See, I rewatched Scooby Doo recently, and I'm the live action, and I'm very convinced Scrappy Doo is still the actual hero of that movie. Scrappy is just misunderstood, and they were pretty mean to him.
I will
Thanks.
fight you right now. Don't you dare knock
There's
Scooby
no
Doo.
one's right
At
there.
100 subscribers, we'll organise a grudge match.
Don't you dare knock Scooby Doo. That's dangerous. That's like foreigners making fun of fairy bread to Australians. Dangerous.
We can point to Claire over there, who made me very bad Fred for our second date, I think.
Yeah, because he had never had it.
I didn't know what it
So I
was.
forced him to eat it.
I thought it was like a drug thing.
What did you think? What did you think?
Fairy bread, yes or no?
Yes.
Choose your words.
Yeah,
Oh,
good. The show is about to end. Get my manager. I'm out.
Can't work in these conditions.
Where's the union?
Before we finish off, I thought we'd play a little game called Bad Batch.
Okay.
So I have a bunch of cards here, which are side effects of a bad batch of potions. I will give it to you, and you will have to get the rest of the cast to guess what the conditions are, so that they can save you and make a cure. But you cannot say the words that are on the card.
Oh,
So it's not. So you don't have to be silent. You just can't say what's
Yes,
happening. Okay.
unless one of the effects.
Unless
are
the
that
potion
you're
is
muted.
silent. Okay.
So who would like to start?
not me.
I'll give it a crack.
Yes.
Alrighty.
There we go. First slow decline into nothingness.
Don't pick that with shoulder.
I want to ask a question, but I won't. I'll just dive straight in.
Do it.
Um,
Okay.
Well done on diving
Potion of
straight in.
staring. Potion of missing bottle. Just gonna give a second. Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Potion of cat. Easy.
Cat's grace. No.
Potion of.
Cat's a dick.
Potion of pushing. I tried to catch that.
Gravity.
Oh yeah, potion
I
of.
think
Wait,
Thomas actually got it.
yeah.
Cat's grace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the potion is that you think you're a cat.
Yeah, so you guys have to guess the symptom that's occurred,
Oh,
right? The
okay.
symptom?
The symptom.
Yeah, so I think I'm a cat. And I was going to just go meow. I was like, nah, that's no fun.
Fair enough.
My next guess was being a potion of being an obnoxious prick.
So,
That's called waking up.
Potion of Dylan's
Cat.
pushing.
You are now mentally a cat.
I wish that was a D&D spell.
I think Hazel.
Oh god.
She goes,
It's polymorph.
Oh gosh, I'm terrified.
Well, that's not mental though.
It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
that actually is mental as well.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
This is perfect for me. I'm having a genuinely wonderful time sitting here and talking to you all, and I'm very glad I joined this
Potion
show.
of lying.
You have to express your emotions.
No. I'm genuinely very glad to have met you guys. I think it's been a
Potion of honesty?
Yeah.
So I'll say potion of TED Talk.
Potion of honesty. Inspirational motivational speaker. No, honestly, that's perfect for Hazel.
Beautiful.
Alright. A special one for you.
Really?
Potion of going to the supermarket and buying something.
I wrote one special for everyone in mind.
Oh god. Like,
Was that mine?
No, but I had to
That
know.
fits me.
wait, was the cat one supposed to be mine?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
That makes sense.
Do you want to pick it up?
Yeah.
What was
that
it?
was
What
probably
was
mine.
it?
Oh, just speak really fast.
Oh, upside down this gym. Your writing is atrocious.
Potion of honesty?
Potion of critic.
Vicious mockery.
Oh, yeah.
We're having some technical difficulties here.
Sorry, Hero's writing is. Well, I think Daz could write better, but.
Very true.
I really just can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, the other day,
Potion of distraction?
it was really tasty.
You
Is
are
it-
now very forgetful.
Is it like on the tip of your tongue?
Anyway, back to my original story. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by this. It was really tasty.
You always end up on tangents.
No.
Potion of that one really good meal and just don't remember where it was from.
Potion of
It just
confusion.
the way the flavors combine. Who knew that it would have so many layers to it?
Potion of
Is-
lasagna?
Potion of oral sex.
Amy's pretty close.
There's
Not you, Thomas. Not you.
There's a potion for that.
That's called do.
Potion of food critic. You're now a food critic.
Layers were complex.
Onions. Layer of onions.
Potion of
Potion of
ratatouille?
onions.
Potion of strength.
Potion of onion breath.
Potion of Shrek?
I mean something.
Yeah.
Oh, onion soup.
Yeah.
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 So
So I'm getting distracted by the just preoccupied by this onion
You
soup.
had really
So
dope
it
onion
wasn't a
soup
potion,
all
it
the
was just
time.
onion soup.
Whose
Onion
character
soup.
was that one for?
Was that for anyone specific?
That's
Was
for
that for you?
myself.
They're all for him.
He was distracted while he was writing these.
We know what he had for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's complicated.
Wait, did you write it in English or Danish?
What letter is that one there?
It's in Swedish. He doesn't understand it.
He's Norwegian. Oh, he's got it
He's
now.
got it.
If
He's
it's
got it.
like this, I cannot talk.
You can talk, but you have to. It will affect the way that you talk.
Potion of
Oh,
fingers.
here we go.
Oh gosh.
It's really bad talking like this.
Swollen tongue.
That's pretty good.
Maybe.
It's instant.
Pretty close,
You've
yeah.
bitten your tongue?
My tongue's too fat for my mouth.
I know that sound.
From experience.
No comment. I plead
You're all
the fifth.
connected. It's just an experience.
Alright.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Alright.
I'm surprised that anyone got that.
Let's go that one.
Yeah, that was so instant. You were like, got it.
He's cheating. That's me.
Every time no. Eternally
Potion of not knowing which word to use next. Dipping your tongue.
yeah.
Potion of thesaurus. Philosophy.
Potion of clicking tongue.
Ooh.
It's
Potion of cognition.
Potion of being unable to start a sentence.
That's a very long description.
Potion of distraction.
It's actually really hard.
Mind blown.
I think I know what it is.
yeah.
Potion
I
of
heard you do. You wrote
amnesia.
them.
Can't communicate.
Potion of uncertainty.
Exactly effervescent.
Potion of having to use words with the same first letter.
Can only use ease.
Ooh, there we go. Okay.
Like as soon as
So
I
you're
read that,
right,
all of
but
my
you're
E
right
words
enough.
just went.
I didn't know how to use it. You're like,
Elephant. That's the only E word. Everything.
That's it.
Everything was the first one I went for.
Yeah.
No, every time.
Every time. Everything.
That is tricky. Well done.
Yeah.
That's really hard. We're gonna do one last one before we end the show. Everyone choose a number.
Between what?
5.
1 to 20. 5.
1 to 20.
7.
12.
16.
1. Oh, we just did 1, 2.
7.
Ken.
Just can't get to do another one.
So I feel like we need to get Hero to do one.
Oh,
You
yes.
want me to take
No.
a specific one?
Hero.
No, it's fine.
Alright, Ken's
Hero
doing
needs
and
to
then
do
Hero's
I'll do
doing.
one after.
Oh no, I'm not doing that one.
Is it racist? or-
Yes.
Hero.
Oh, that's not racist.
Oh.
What
It
did you
is.
say?
Little
It turns you
Nino.
into Korean.
Oh,
Hero!
oh, no, it's just Karen. It's my family.
I told you it was bad handwriting. Seriously, it looks like I thought it said turn into Korean. I'm like, I can't do
But
that.
I love
I
the
should have
fact,
wrote that. I would have done that.
I love the fact that
Because that's
Hero
another
asked,
thing.
is it racist? Hero asked, is it racist? And I'm like, which ones do you think you wrote that are?
So, Hero, a little constructive criticism.
I
Maybe next
can
time
combine
type
the
it.
last
Yeah.
one that I
Just
thought
use
was
letters next
racist
time,
with
yeah.
this one.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Alright.
Right, Potion of being a Karen.
Korean.
I want to see the manager. I'm very disappointed
Oh.
that these McNuggets aren't spicy enough.
Potion of being my disappointed parent.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's close enough. No.
Yeah.
It's,
And I used every word that's on this thing, so it's probably illegal.
It's a potion of being disappointed that.
My spicy McNuggets are not spicy enough.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Alright, Hero, you gotta grab one at random.
Alright.
We gotta get
There's
used
only
to it.
2 left.
Oh, okay.
And he knows what they are.
That's right, we don't though.
Iron Man.
Potion of raving?
Potion of fireballs.
Yep. Potions of shooting imaginary fireballs.
I didn't see
That's
anything
really-
different. That's just
The last one
Yeah.
was Potion of Random Fatigue.
which one?
Me.
Out of
Yeah, which one was
curiosity,
me?
did you write
This
for
is
me?
any millennial.
Yeah, that.
This one was actually Claire. She was imagining Fireball was a penance. I thought,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that would
Yeah,
be that'd be on there for him. The one thing he can't do that he wishes he could.
turns into Karen. I thought you would do very well doing that.
Oh my god, yes.
I swear, I thought it said Korean.
But just the fact that
Yeah.
Hero was like, "Is it racist?"
Let me tell you about this fantastic program called Microsoft Word.
That's words.
I don't believe in
It
it.
has spell check as well.
Fake news.
Fake
Doesn't
news.
exist. Doesn't exist. It's
Oh.
not real.
Only use
Cause
page.
COVID.
So again,
Microsoft Word
that
called
would
COVID.
make Karen barbecue.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you next Sunday at 6 to 7 for what happens when our group re-enters Aradan.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Me too.
Come on.
All right. Happy
Oh, come on,
birthday,
Mama.
Doug, and Lonnie,
Happy birthday, Doug.
and happy wedding things to Brad.
Congrats to Brad.
Yes, the wedding thing.
I don't think the wedding's till
Congrats to
June.
Brad.
So.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to Vonnie and Doug, and also thank
Yes,
you, Level
don't
Up
forget
Dice.
Happy
Yes, thank you, little
Sunday.
guys. Thank you. Thank you,
And
Claire.
thank
for
you
being
all
on
our
live.
viewers.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you all
Thank
for
you for
watching.
watching.
Thank you for joining the cult.
Yes, one of us.
Thank you, Jogan, for lending out his studio and
Yes.
his amazing cameras, and thank you, Liam, for always just putting up with us and setting up whatever we request for
Liam's
the
fallen
Twitch.
asleep out there.
He also does all. He also does all the streaming things.
The glitch in the Matrix.
He does Coding
Leave
Chaos
is
as
the glitch
well.
in the Matrix.
So thank you so much. And Vonnie does all our editing and all our uploading for our YouTube content.
And
So-
Zan for our artwork.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
Zan for
our
the
logo.
And I think next episode we can reveal some of the portraits that he has done for
Yeah.
Gaz and Daz and for Tom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you guys done any more with him or?
I
Is
want to get Hazel. I want to get Hazel drawn.
I'm
Really
getting-
badly.
I like the stick figures.
I did. I'm no elbows.
I'm getting Fentwick done,
Oh,
so I'll have to get in touch soon.
I might get a remake of Pendants, but we'll see how my artist TK_tattoos_ about that.
I did
I'm
not.
sure she'll be
I think
fine.
you should keep yours still.
Yeah.
I will let my viewers
Ooh.
paint my portrait.
Ooh.
No
As in-
matter what it is.
You just get your own face.
I can draw your pretty mean stick figure.
All you have to subscribe to Famous Stuff.
I think yours should just be his face reflected in a meat cleaver.
With a finger.
All right, see you guys.
Yes.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Bye.